This year, I set a goal to read 50 books by the end of the year, and I am so close to reaching that goal. I've read 43 books in total, so today we're going to be doing my 10 before the end. And yes, I know technically it's 7, but it just doesn't have the same ring to it as 10. So that's what we're going to be calling this video, okay? At the time of filming this, it is November 22nd, so I've got about 5 weeks to read 7 books, which under normal circumstances would be doable. The holiday season is coming up. I'm going to be in San Diego next week, and I'm going to go to Vegas for my mom's birthday in December, so I don't know how much reading I'm gonna realistically get done while I'm traveling. And the last book I read was A Court of Wings and Ruin, which was like over 600 pages long, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that. To give myself the best chance of meeting my goal, I'm gonna pick books that are shorter, and I'm also gonna mix in a couple of audiobooks in there so that I can listen to them while I'm traveling. It would be really nice if I could read books while I'm on the plane and stuff, but I get kind of nauseous, so audiobooks it is. And in my opinion, they totally count. Even if I don't meet this goal, that is totally fine. It was just a goal that I set for myself for fun, but I am gonna try. Okay, I've got a little bit of competitive spirit in me, and the only person that I'm really competing against is myself. But compared to last year, where I read a grand total of 3 books, 43 is pretty impressive, if I do say so myself. So if you need a little bit of inspiration for the last couple of books that you are going to read for the end of the year, hopefully you find something in this list of books that sounds interesting to you. So without further ado, let's just get into the book, shall we? The very first book is the book I'm reading right now, which is The Joy Luck Club by Amy Tan. And I would say that compared to most books that I've been reading this year, this is definitely on the shorter end. So this is 288 pages. The Joy Luck Club is a historical fiction, which is set in 1949 in San Francisco, and it follows the story of 4 Chinese American families who have formed the Joy Luck Club, where they meet every single week to play mahjong, and they also talk about their lives in China and just, things that are going on. Just a place where they can find some community and comfort in a new country that they've moved to. I think this is a really good one if you want to read a story about family, about resilience, about the immigrant experience, then look into The Joy Luck Club. It's also a movie, actually. I have not seen the movie, but maybe after I read the book, I'm gonna watch the movie and see how it compares. Okay, so this next book that I picked is actually a memoir, which I got in one of my Book of the Month boxes way earlier this year. This is Hereafter by Amy Lynn. Beautiful cover, and this memoir is pretty tragic. So Amy Lynn lost her husband suddenly and tragically at a very young age, and this memoir is the aftermath of that loss. She was also diagnosed with a serious medical condition around the same time that her husband passed away. This is a memoir ultimately on grief, loss, and resilience, and I've heard really, really great things about this memoir, so I'm looking forward to reading it. And it's also shorter, so it is 255 pages. So if you're looking for a couple shorter reads, then might want to look into these too. The next book that I have is actually on my Kindle, and it is Christmas at the Little Paris Hotel. So this is a book that my book club chose to read for the holidays, and it's a romance which is set in Paris. And this follows the story of Anais, who gets this really rundown hotel in her divorce settlement, and she tries to restore it to its former glory. And right next door there is a bar, and at the bar is this grumpy American man who happens to be kind of hot. And when I read the premise, I was thinking that this is really giving Hallmark Christmas special, Netflix Christmas movie, and I'm a sucker for those movies around this time of the year, and well, this is it, but in a book form. The next book on my list is The Lost Bookshop, and this is a historical fiction which is set in Dublin. It follows the story of 3 main characters who discover this magical bookshop that only appears when you need it the most, and our 3 characters, Martha, Opaline, and Henry, are sort of at a crossroads in their life, and when they find this bookshop, it has the exact book that they need in their life. So I'm already halfway done with this book. I borrowed it from the library, but then I had to return it, so I borrowed it again so that I can finish it. I think I have about 50% left, so I figured I gotta wrap up the loose ends. You know what I mean? The next one on my list is also a book that I am halfway through, but again, borrowed it from the library, had to return it, so I don't have a physical copy with me right now, but it is Funny Story by Emily Henry. I read Happy Place by Emily Henry, and so far, I do like Funny Story better. Funny Story follows our girl Daphne, who is engaged to marry the love of her life, Peter, in just a couple of weeks when, lo and behold, Peter is actually in love with his best friend from childhood named Petra, and he basically breaks up with her, gets with Petra, and then I think those two end up getting engaged or something. Because Daphne uprooted her entire life for this man, moved across the country to be with him and marry him, she doesn't know anybody other than Petra's ex-boyfriend, Miles. So she has no one else to turn to except the ex-boyfriend of the girl that her fiance left her for. So this is giving drama, right? So they end up moving in together, hanging out all summer, posting their little adventures online when Peter actually finds these pictures. So there's a little bit of fake dating in this book, and what could go wrong? We're gonna switch gears a little bit and we're gonna talk about the two audiobooks that are gonna help me wrap up this reading year. And the first one is a memoir by none other than Academy Award winning actress Viola Davis. She's been in films like Fences, The Help, and The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, just to name a few. The audiobook is narrated by none other than Miss Viola Davis herself, and it actually won some Grammy Awards, and I'm gonna tell you what they are. She won the Grammy Award for Best Narration, audiobook, and storytelling. I feel like this would be a really good one to listen to while I'm on the plane. And the last audiobook is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I've actually started listening to this audiobook already. And unlike other audiobooks that I've listened to this year where there's just one narrator, this actually has multiple narrators. So it kind of sounds like an interview, which I thought was really cool. Daisy Jones and the Six is a historical fiction which takes place in the late 60s in Los Angeles. And it follows the story of Daisy, who is our iconic rock star, and her band as they rise to fame, they tour the world, and they struggle with fame and addiction. Those are all the books that I'm going to try to finish before the end of the year so that I can reach my goal of 50 books. Comment down below if you set a reading goal for yourself this year, what it was. Did you meet your goal? Are you close to your goal? Or if you didn't have a reading challenge this year, what are some books that are left on your TBR that you want to finish before the year is over? And that wraps up our 10 before the end. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so happy that you decided to hang out with me today. Please consider liking and subscribing to the channel if you want to see more from me. As always, take care of yourself because you deserve it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.